Okay folks, right, I put out a video yesterday regarding an experience I had yesterday, tea time with William Hill, who used to be Britain's premier bookie, or they were in my eyes growing up anyway. They were always the go-to bookie for me, more so than Ladbrokes. They're the one I always remembered. And I used to quite like going in the shops, although that was many years ago. Do everything online now. I'd fallen out with them yesterday over a bet that they wouldn't settle, or they settled incorrectly. I put a video up and called them tossers. I still stand by that. There has been a development in the bet, which I'm going to get to in a moment or two. So from that you'll probably guess what it is. But it's just a message or a couple of points on the back of the video I put out. Firstly, can I say thank you for those that watched it? Many of you have watched it, about 12 or 13,000. That isn't a huge amount in YouTube terms by any means, but it's my second or third most watched video ever. My best is only 25, 26,000, and I got lucky there. I was just on the back of a big news story at the time, and people seen it, passed it on to others and lapped it up. I don't ask people to subscribe, to put thumbs up, to comment. I have that wrote there because I'm embarrassed doing it. People keep telling me I should do it, but I don't. My channel's growing really fast. I mean, I've only got, I had 1,700 and odd subscribers yesterday. That might not seem a lot to some, but it's a lot for somebody like myself who's only 9 or 10 months old, especially when I've had no help from anywhere. I don't have friends, relations pushing it. I don't tell anybody I'm on here. They find it if they find it. If they don't, they don't. And other people watch it, like yourselves, and push it to others. And I'm grateful that you do, and I hope that you keep doing it, but I won't ask you to. But the video came out yesterday and it got lots of watches. It also got lots of thumbs up. It also got lots of comments. It's by far and away the most thumbs up I've ever had on any video at all. I mean, I think my biggest video was double the size of the William Hill one up to now, but it probably not even got a quarter of the thumbs up. I don't know, I've not researched it, but I don't think it did. And also, with these thumbs up, sometimes you get negative comments. I think the thumbs up and the comments are on 100%. I don't think there's one negative comment. Gives you a good idea of how unhappy we are with bookmakers out there at the moment. This is for everybody that watched the video. Everybody that I've had on board before, it's for you guys, you girls. But you guys and you girls know what I'm all about, what I do, and what the channel's about. Even though some of you just watch the racing side of things or the sporting side. For those that watched me yesterday and that have subscribed or watched it and haven't subscribed, that's not a problem. You don't need to. That's up to yourselves. But I'd like to give you an update on what's happening with William Hill. But I'd also like to pass you the following messages. Number one, thank you very much for watching it. If you gave a thumbs up, number two, thank you very much. If you commented, thank you very much. If you passed it on to anyone, a bigger thank you, because that's what I ask people to do. I never normally ask that. One gentleman has passed it on. I wrote his name down and I've left it downstairs. I'm upstairs now in my studio. So I've not got it with me. I do apologise, but he shared it with his community, and I'm grateful. I really am. Thank you very much, sir. I'll give you the message. I thank you in a further video. But just let me tell those that watched the video yesterday what I'm about and what we're about, and then I've got these things to read to yourselves that have only watched the video, but also to everybody else that has been with me for more days, weeks and months than you have yourselves. Right, what do I want to say? God, I'm losing this. No, let me read this to you. Oh no, about me, sorry, because I don't go scripted, although I've got that. I don't do scripts here, folks. It just comes out and it doesn't always come out right. This channel is about everything, folks. I do a fair bit on racing. I do a daily thing on racing virtually every day of the week. I call it the scores on the doors section. We follow 3 tipsters here, 3 online tipsters, or many people do. Guy called Flat Cap Callum, who's going to be having a break soon. He's been doing it for over 2 years. A guy called Peter Fillingham, who's only recently started doing it, probably back end of last year. And a guy called Mickey D. I like all 3. 3 great guys, 3 decent guys, 3 genuine guys, 3 honest guys. And the thing that they all have in common, well, it's twofold. Firstly, they're honest. They're just open books. But secondly, they don't charge anybody for tips. And I love that. On this channel, we also knock other channels within the YouTube community that do charge people for tips, especially those channels that don't show a profit and loss. They're reeling people in with free bets. They get people looking and taking the free bets and now and again winning. They bring them into Telegram channels and everything else. They take them off the YouTube, so they're dealing one-to-one with them. They take the money at £5, £10, £20 a go, or maybe £50 a month, or £200 or £300 a year, and they give them loads and loads and loads of tips. We don't know all them tips are doing because we're not privy to them and because they don't show profit and loss. We have turned one chap around that's been on there for years on YouTube and now he shows a profit and loss. We've aimed at a couple of others. They've both gone rogue. They've both gone not rogue, dark. A guy called Watchman Racing and Peter's Racing Tips, Peter Sandrovich. What I would say, folks, anybody that's watching for the first time, if you're interested in other people's tips and tips off YouTube, have a look at Flat Cap Callum, Peter Fillingham and Mickey D. I mean, Mickey D, I've done a scores on the doors earlier. He's blown the doors off today at Cheltenham. He's had an absolutely fantastic day. Doesn't do it every day of the week, doesn't do it every month, but he'll let you know when he's winning and when he's not, and you can trust him. But the great thing is he's not charging for tips. The others, Neil Maurice, we don't have a go at him anymore. He's doing a profit and loss, although I'm not so sure everything's as we'd like it to be, but he's better than it was before. Peter Sandrovich, I don't think you can trust as far as you can throw. He says he's the best tipster on YouTube. Nobody's ever given more winners. He's bombed out for 4 days at Cheltenham, and I mean bombed out spectacularly. I don't know what he's done today. I've not checked today, but the 3 days previous, people have had tips off him, and he's absolutely bombed like you cannot believe. You really cannot believe. Watchman Racing can't be trusted. From what I've seen, just cannot be trusted at all. Carl Betts, who's been on here before, can't be trusted. And Holden's Horses, the Sheriff of Tippingham, I'm not so sure he can be trusted. We're looking at all those in the coming weeks and asking that if you go in online, are you going to look at doing a profit and loss like the ones that are above board are doing? If not, then we're going to call them out on a daily basis until they do. And if they fall out with us, they fall out with us. But in the meantime, we're going to push the 3 channels that we believe in. And what I do, folks, the days that any of those 3 channels have had a good day, I'll tell you. The days that they've had a bad day, I won't. And it's not because I'm trying to hide anything. They tell you when they've had a good or bad day. But I'm promoting them with no end game for me. I get nothing out of any of them. Nothing. Nobody gives me any money. Nobody gives me any backhanders. Nobody gives me any tips. Nobody gives me any extra subscribers. Nobody does anything for me. But we've got this crusade going now on here where I believe everybody should be above board and everybody should sing off the same hymn sheet. It's amazing. We've got 3 people that aren't charging, yet they're as honest as the day's long. And we've got all the ones that are charging. You can't believe a word that they're telling you. Everything's smoke and mirrors. I think we call them snake oil salesmen, and I think the title is very apt. So that's what we do. We do that. What I've also done is I've tried to introduce something called a Q&A, where I invite anybody, and I mean anybody that's got a story to tell about anything that others might feel interested, might interest people about anything, any subject, anything in their lives. It can even be about their lives. Anybody that wants to come on this channel and talk live about anything, all you need to do is drop me an email on the channel's email address, which is bgog99@hotmail.com. I think it is anyway. You'll find it in the description. bgog99@hotmail.com. More about that in a moment. But trying to start says we only had one person on it, and it happened to be an online tipster, but he was really good. Great value for money. People enjoyed it. He came and answered lots and lots of questions in my comment section. People pulled him for some things that they thought he was a bit wrong on and not quite correct. Somebody defending himself manfully, and I think people appreciated it. And you know, he's got a lot of extra subscribers to his channel from here, where people are watching him more, which is great. But he's just recently done about 13 days of profit, 13 days on the bounce. He then did 4 or 5 without any money, but 13 on the bounce is some good. It's only favourites, but to do 13 days on the bounce takes some doing, and he did it. So we push 3 sites, we knock the rest. Also on this channel, folks, my channel, I set this up to cover loads of stuff, loads of sport, loads of media, loads of TV. I have a different take on loads of things. My brain is weird. It's weird. There's things happening here that I just couldn't explain to you because I can't explain them to myself. I have different takes on situations that you'll find on TV or in the newspapers. Some might say I make things up, but I try to do it in a fun and comical way. I come on here in the main, my biggest thing on here is to call out those that I think are still a living, those that are crap, those that are bad at what they do, that are just rubbish, and they're on our TV screens all the time, or movie screens, or on our radios, and I call them and I call them and I call them. Many agree with me about them, some don't, but we have a comment section and everybody can comment. I've never removed anybody from this site, I've never ever removed a comment. Everyone's free to comment. If they don't agree with me, tell me. We do all of that. We do everything to do with sport, everything to do with media, TV, film, music, politics, everything, religion, gender, the whole shooting match. I am grumpy. The name is Britain's Grumpiest Soulgate, and I can be. I did a video yesterday about Katie Price. I've done one today. She does my head in her. Have a look at yesterday's one. You'll get an idea of how grumpy I can get. I turned it up to about 12 yesterday. I was mad yesterday, folks. I was mad. So it's not only racing, I do everything. If you like what you see with the racing, come on and look at the racing stuff. If you joined and you want to stay with us, do that notification that they do where it tells you everything I'm putting out. And if you like something, watch it. And if it's something that doesn't interest you, don't. If you're a guy and you're watching it, get your wives to subscribe as well. Get your wives to watch it. There'll be loads on there for women, loads on there for younger people, but more for my age group. I would suggest anyone between about 40 and 75 will like this channel. I think the biggest demographic is between about 50 and 75, but everybody's welcome. What I'm getting at is we cover loads and loads and loads of subjects. And also I want to bring as many people that watch the channel on here as we possibly can. You wouldn't be on screen, by the way. I'll be on screen, you'd be on the phone, and it'd be recorded. And people would hear me speaking to you and vice versa, so you don't have to show your mush. You don't even have to put a proper name out there. I can just call you John, Peter or Paul, Mary, Julie, Jackie, anything you want me to call you, anything. We don't use the last name, nobody will know. But to that, and let me just read you this. I know I've gone on and on and on, and I am going to say more about William Hill in a minute. But let me just read you these things I've seen in the comments. As I say, I've had more comments than any other video I've ever put out. And I picked 5 out today. I mean, I'm behind the 8 ball because I've been trying to study for Cheltenham this morning, study all day, then watch the racing. I've been doing this, I've been doing that. It's been hard today. But I picked some comments out today. Just let me show you these. A guy mentioned last night, and I remembered it. He had a boxing bet recently with William Hill. I think he's had 7 fights, all different times. 6 of them came in. Must have been a couple of years ago now. 6 of them came in. The 7th one was moved because the Queen died. I think they should have thought that week that she died, they moved it. William Hill voided that part of the bet. He said, now at the same time, loads of football matches were moved. They didn't void them. They just played them at different dates and the bet stood. He said, my boxing bet should have stood. He said, but I think he said it was a 7-fold. I think they paid him out because 6 had won, but they paid him on a 6-fold. The 7th one won it, they got me even more money, he said. But they ruled it was void because they had to move it. Talk about double standards. I had one today, it amazed me, this one. A guy says, I was in London a few months ago. No, that's a lie, it's not a few months ago. When was this? I think he said 2014. 2014, he said, I was in a poker tournament. He said, I was in a poker tournament and did pretty well in it. And on a daily basis, there was a William Hill near the poker tournament, and I went in the shop every now and again. This one day I went in there, he said, and I got talking to people, and I decided to put on some each-way bets. He said, and I didn't think they were big bets, maybe they were. I think he said they were £50 or £100 each way. He said he was doing pretty well. He said he didn't know what each way was, because in America it's win or place. They don't do each way there as far as I'm aware, and people would advise him about each way bets. He said, anyway, I was winning. I got up to about 3,200 quid, and all of a sudden, they didn't really want to take any more bets. But what they really didn't want to do, when he had a few of the slips to take back, they didn't want to pay me out. I said, what do you mean you don't want to pay me out? No, you're winning too much, you're putting too much on. What do you mean I'm putting too much on? You was alright with my first bets. Yeah, but you keep winning. And they said they didn't want to pay me. And I said, you better pay me. They didn't want to pay me, so I rang the police. All the shopper on my side said, pay the guy, pay the guy, pay the guy. Behind the counter, they say to people in the shop, don't tell him anything more, don't give him advice, you shouldn't have told him about each way, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that. He said, oh, did I mention I'm American and I'm an ex-trainer. I'm an ex-racecourse trainer. He said, I just don't understand it. He said, is your country always this bad? He said, in America, we place a bet for whatever the amount might be, and if they take it, the bet's honoured. No quibble, no mind, they just pay straight out. I said, yeah, that's how I believe it is in America. Same with Australia, same with most countries. We're not like that here. They'll take your money forever as long as you're losing. They'll take as much as you can give them. They're trying to batten the hatches down a little bit now to cover their own backsides, but they'll take everything they can. When you're winning, they don't like paying you out. And when you are winning, they try to find ways of not paying you out. And when you are winning, they drop what you can put on or close your accounts. They limit what you can win. They don't like you being cleverer than them. They're happy to be cleverer than everybody else, but they don't like the other person being cleverer than them. That's the way they work. He said, I can't believe it. I said, well, that's the way it works here. We can't believe it, but it's the country we're living in. It's how we've let it get. And it's our fault, folks, because we've let it get that way. They said the old adage, you voted with your feet. I said something about 3 months ago. It never happened. If we could get countrywide and just nobody have a bet for 2 months or something, it'd kill them all. It would kill them all. Then everybody go back to the table. We'd have some spokesmen, so would they, and we'd do it for a level playing field. It would be great, but it's never going to happen. It's gone the wrong way now. So anyway, he said that, and in the end he got his money, but it was hard work. A guy from Skybet messaged me. He said I'm having bets, I've bet with them for years, get on a bit of a winning run. I got a phone call. he said, they rang me up and they said, wait a minute, you're winning, but you're not betting your normal bets. You're not betting the kind of bets you'd normally bet. I said, so? They said, well, how much do you earn? What? Well, you're not betting your normal bets. You do well. We want to know how much you earn and what are your outgoings. And can we ask, if you start losing, how will it affect your day-to-day life? He said, but I'm not losing. I've been winning. Yeah, but we need to know all of this. He said, and I thought to myself, that's an account I'm going to close. And you think, is that not crazy? Another chap said to me, he said, do you know what? I remember when a bet was a gentleman's agreement. You'd strike up a bet with a bookie, be it on a course or over a counter, and you were honourable, they were honourable, you'd give them your money. If it lost, they took it, and if it won, they paid you out, no quibble. That's days of old, my friend. They don't do that anymore. It's not that way anymore. Another one here, guy won 1,800 quid. He won 1,800 quid with the bookmaker, but it turned out he'd been using his own card for God knows how long, and then when that card ceased to be any good, probably run its course, he put another card in, deposit another card, and he put money in, and he won 1,800 quid. Won 1,800 quid. They rung him. Hey, what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? You've changed cards. He said, well, I change cards all the time. Yeah, but this one is a joint card between you and your wife. So, it's mine along with my wife's. You shouldn't have done that. We can't pay it out. All right. And I thought to myself, oh, so he's changed cards. It's a joint card, so it's still his as well as hers. They can take your money. You know, they never pulled him then and said, this is a joint card. We can't take your money. No. Keep your money. Go and get a card in your name. So they can take your money, but they can't pay it out on it. That's good, isn't it? Did I have another one? Oh, yeah, same fella. Brilliant, I thought this was. Brilliant. He said, well, I'll tell you what, you owe me 1,800 quid. Pay me out now, or I'm going to the shop. I know where the shop is. It was a Willie Mill one. I'm going to the shop. He said, and I'll get the money. So what do you mean I'll get the money? He said, I'll go to the shop within the next hour, and I'll get that £1,800 one way or another. Meaning, if he couldn't get over the counter, it was going to damage the shop to 1,800 quid's worth. He said, within minutes, you got a return call saying the money's now on your account. He said, within an hour, he had an email saying, you're bad for life, you never come in our shops or with us ever again, and had a visit from the police for threatening behaviour. And I thought, well, why email him and ban him for life? He was never going to come back in anyway. He was never going to bet with Willie Mill again after that, was he? You owe him money and you won't pay him out because he's changed his card, but you'll take his money and he's changed his card. Naughty. Another one here, a guy worked for them for 6 months, a worker from Willie Mill, worked there for 6 months, moved house after 6 months, had never missed a shift, always been in on time, always finished his shifts, never took time off, worked there for 6 months, relocated, moved house. Unfortunately, there was no Willie Mill near my house, so I had to leave. I was gutted. My last payslip was minus my works uniform, the money for my works uniform. So they made him pay for his own uniform. Now, maybe they told him initially he was going to do that, I don't know. But what people pay for a uniform? And if you're going to do that, why would someone take it out of your very last payslip? Your last payslip means that you're unemployed and so you've handled the job, you've got no work, you need that money. Why on earth would they make his last payslip minus his uniform? I had another guy that mentioned, I've not wrote it on it, another guy mentioned he had a friend that worked at Ladbrokes, really, really loyal for 18 years, really loyal. The day left, never got a goodbye, never got the carriage clock, never got the pat on the back, never got a bonus, never got nothing. Right, see ya, boom, gone. And you think to yourself, what kind of businesses are we dealing with? We love betting folks, don't we? We love horses, don't we? You know, they won't let us win, they'll let us lose. We can only lose so much. They'll restrict our accounts or close our accounts. They think we know too much in horses, so they don't like it, unless we crap at what we do, and then they love it. It don't matter what we do or don't know on roulette and those crack game machines, them that they play in the lots there. We can put all we want in them because they're rigged for the house. You know, we never win on those, and we can be a gambling deck. We can put thousands in there, but we can't have a bet for hundreds. We just can't do that. We're not allowed to. It's all just crazy. So that got me thinking. I've had loads and loads of comments on here, folks, and I mean loads and loads of comments. Sorry, it's 20 minutes this, but if you're still with me, great. If you're not, then I'm sorry you're not. But some of you will be. If you want to, folks, this site of mine, this channel can be used as a comment section in perpetuity. You know, as long as the comments go ideally on the racing things. I do a scores on the doors every day. So if anybody wants to put a comment about horse racing, please do it on the scores on the doors, not other things, because it's unfair to other people. If somebody's watching a Katie Price video, God forbid, me talking about Katie Price or Eddie Izzard, or who else do I talk about? Paddy McGuinness and people of that ilk, i.e. crap. If I'm talking about those and they're trying to put a comment in and there's 20 comments about horse racing, it's going to spoil it for them. So put it the horse racing thing. But what I'd like to know, if you've got any other stories, folks, about how you've been done by bookmakers, whoever they might be, put them in there. Put them in there, because even if I don't respond to them, I'll try to respond to everything. Other people will see them that might be betting with that bookmaker. They might have the same kind of stories or worse. But somebody might give us 3 stories about Willie Miller, about exactly the same subject, the same kind of thing. And that might make somebody else betting with Willie Miller thinking, well, if I have that, it's going to happen to me. I'm going to leave there and I'm going to bet over here. And they might make them go somewhere else. Then we can start voting with our feet. But also, this is the idea I had. If anybody has got any issues with bookmakers, any stories that they'd like to tell about how they've been done and how they've been treated badly and whatever else, let me know in the comment section. And if you're happy to come on here, only your voice, I won't use your proper name, only your voice, then we can get you on here and you can tell the rest of the listeners what's happened to you. It's just a thought. I think it's a good idea. I think it would work. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Now, bear in mind, we'd have to do it at a time to suit you and to suit me. And I'm working full-time at the moment. This isn't my full-time job. I want it to be, but it isn't. Hopefully within a year it will be, but I'm not there yet, although I'm getting that way. But we can always schedule a call, night-time or weekends or whatever else, at a time to suit us both. So all you do, put something not in the comment section, in the email address, bang an email to me. I'll message you back. You can put a contact phone number in your first email, or I'll message you back. And if you're comfortable, send me over a phone number. I'll give you the call and we'll take it from there. But that's just an idea. William Hill, how have I done with William Hill? That's what we're getting to. I've been paid. I don't know, folks. I don't know if it's the power of this. I don't know if it's because of the comments or anybody's seen it. I think it's neither of those things. I think what's happened is, I think it's an administrative error on their part, or it's been a glitch in their system. Now, do I still think they toss us, William Hill? Yes, I do. They kept me on the phone for an hour and a quarter yesterday, not on the phone, on this live chat. It's a joke. The first guy did not know what he was talking about. The second guy, the supervisor, still didn't. So they're tossers. They've got their own people in jobs. It's bad enough that they don't answer a phone anymore. When you've got somebody typing out and you're typing back and two and you're pinging and you've got to run back to it and keep, and it takes forever for their message to come through, and you're waiting on the other end of a message, waiting and waiting and waiting when you want to get on with your life. You do only hope that the person on the other end knows what they're on about. These didn't. And I'm getting that all the time with bookmakers. It's gone crazy. It's bad at 365 as well. I've had bad experiences with some of them on the phones. It's just a joke. It's a pity people don't go back to a phone service. I think last I heard Unibet did, and so did Boyle Sports. They were the only two that do. This live chat is crap. So the people on the phones, tossers. The way they treat you at William Hill, or with me anyway, tossers. I've had accounts restricted with William Hill. If I was a professional gambler, I could understand it. Well, I couldn't understand it, but I know it happens. I'm not. If I was a really big winner with William Hill, I could understand it, although I couldn't really understand it, but I'm not. If I've had lots of really good wins with William Hill, I could understand it, but I've had a couple of wins, but nothing really, really good. I have some bets that others don't do, and they might think on the odd thing I'm a bit shrewd, especially stuff to do with Cheltenham and special bets. But other than that, no, nothing. So I don't know why I've been restricted. Can't get anything on, can't win anything decent anymore, so God knows why I bet with them. But they have weirder rules with these match bets we talked about today. They have weirder rules when it comes to voiding a horse when two have pulled up or two have fallen. They do it different than anyone else. Yesterday they did it totally differently. They did it the wrong way, they cheated. But they've made good. Now I'll be dead honest with you folks. I don't lie on this channel. I lie about absolutely nothing. This might lose me a subscriber or two. This might get me the odd person that's unhappy. Now not everyone got to it, but you can pass it on to others. You can put in the comment section if you're unhappy with what I'm going to tell you, so others see it. I'm not trying to hide anything. But it was late last night, and I mean late last night, when I noticed that they'd paid me. I think it's a clerical thing, an administrative thing. I think it might have been paid, and I've never known, never seen it. Maybe the traffic from Cheltenham and everything else. The bet was about £33 something. It kept showing 0, 0. My balance kept showing 0. That's all it ever showed. Logged on really late last night, and the bet's still marked as a loser, but the money's in the account. But it's marked as a loser, which is weird. It was always marked as a loser. I think it's a glitch in the system, and I could be wrong. But the thing is, the guy on the online kept saying to me, they'd pay me back £33, but they'd pay me back nothing. The 33 was what I put on, and I kept saying, that's what I put on. I'm actually owed 128 something or other. And he couldn't correlate that figure whatsoever, yet that's what they paid me back. So I'm thinking, has it been paid there? Although I can't see it, and even though he's at base, he can't see it either. Because that figure never got mentioned by him, but it got mentioned by me 3 times. Some might say if I got paid really late last night, why have I left this video on? Because that's where I might lose people. I've had loads of views, which is good because I earn from it, but it's buttons, I won't even earn 20 quid. I've got about 100 new subscribers over the course of the last 2 days. I've never had that many in 2 days before, ever. That isn't a lot in 2 days for a big channel. For a channel on my size, that is huge. But with or without that, I'm growing at a really great rate. For a channel so small, over the last 3 months, I'm growing rapidly. I'm doing really well. I've kept that video running. It isn't, folks, to get more views and more subscribers. I promise you it's not. I wanted more to see it and more to know how I've been treated by William Hill and more to know how William Hill treat people. But also, because the comment section's got millions and millions of comments in there, I think it's great that other people can come onto the video, look at the comment section and look at it and think, I've had that, or wait a minute, I'm not going to risk having that, I'm going to leave William Hill and go to Ladbrokes or Coral, same company, or Skybet or Paddy Power or whatever it might be. So I thought it was a good thing to let people see the comments and see how it's working and see what the people are saying. And to that end, I'm still going to leave the video on. William Hill might do me, especially call them tossers. Well, although they paid me, I still think they're tossers. I think I've been treated abysmally. I think I have. I think the tossers that they're a massive, massive company that they don't take a bet of anybody. The tossers that they do what all the rest do. When you're winning, they'll limit you, and when you're winning, well, they'll close you. The tossers, because if you're losing heavily, they'll let you keep losing. When you get to a certain level, they'll try to rein you in. They'll keep your business, but tell you to bet less, but they'll keep taking your money. So they're happy to take your money, they're not happy to pay it out. They're happy to limit and they're happy to close. But when you've got a problem, the people on the phones are crap. They don't know their asses from their elbows. Tossers. And then when you've got a dispute with them like this, the satisfaction, the resolution side of things is abysmal. Tossers. So for me, William Hill are tossers. Most betting companies out there are at the moment, but they, in my eyes, are the worst of the lot. I think they're absolutely crap. And to that end, I think I've got 30 quid left with them. Still not drew it out. Or did I? Yes, I've drew it out. Of course I have. But the account's going to be closed from today. I've not closed it yet, but I'm going to close it from today. I want to make sure the money's in my account. I think it's in there. Then I'm going to close it. I'm not going to deal with them again. So I might get done for having this video up there by them when they look at it, especially with what I've called them. But the worst they can do is take me to court. And I think they are tossers. And if they look at the comment section of my video and see how many people have liked it, how many people have called them, how many people have said that they've had bad experiences with William Hill, I think they can only come to the same conclusion, really, themselves. They are tossers. Right, so I got the money. Thanks for all that support to me. I appreciate it greatly. I'm gutted if anybody leave because I finally told you that I left it running because it was only last night I found out. But I've done it, I believe, for the right reasons. Everything I'm doing, folks, to do with gambling is for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for any reason other than to try and get a fair deal for us, but especially online. You know, that's what I do on a daily basis. Now, I've got this thing on a daily basis where we're going up against these YouTubers. That'll fall on deaf ears to the new people, YouTubers. We call them YouTubers, somebody else calls them YouTube, but he is a tube himself. And we just want fairness. We want fairness for punters. We want fairness for casual punters that go on YouTube and look at placing a bet, but we want fairness for punters that are dealing with these massive conglomerates, these massive betting companies that have got us completely over a barrel. They really, really have, and they're bleeding us dry, and it's not fair, folks. It's really not fair. So anyway, that's where we're at. How long did it take? Let me put the bins on. A lot won't stay with it on, 28 minutes, but you know it all now. I had a lot to say. I hope you don't mind me saying it, the ones that I've lasted till the end. If you've lasted till the end, just do a comment, say, I did. I'd love to know how many of you lasted till the end. Do an I did. And again, I know it's a long one, this, but if you want to pass it on to anyone to share it, you can do. People out there that like a bet need to know what we're up against. They really, really do. And that's it. That's it, folks.